I'll see you in a little while, Donnie.
Okay, don't forget, Sapphire's gonna come maybe about 9. So she looks okay.
She's got the
yeah,
12-volt charge this morning.
I think she's fine. I mean, from that point of view, I didn't actually get in there or turn her on, but the charger was lit up. The T on the back, so she's got some intelligence.
All right. Well, I will be back sooner than later this morning.
Okay. Kiss, kiss. Have a good
kiss,
day,
kiss.
Bye, Mr. Ord.
Hi, Tux. Hi, buddy. Be back in a little while. Hey, Gray. Actually, that's Slady. Hey, Slady. She gets so spooky sometimes. Her little eyes were totally open there. Dilated. Kind of scary. Good morning, Ruby. Thank you for greeting me so nicely. We are a little late pulling out of the driveway this morning. And it's very dark out there too. If you hadn't noticed, the sun's just barely coming up yet. There's a good bit of fog out there this morning. Oh boy, I can't wait for that. Raleigh should be there this morning, but it's hid. All right, buddy. You have a good day now. I love you.
Thank you, Mom.
We're here right at 7:30, so we should be okay.
Bye, Mom.
Bye. I've seen some bird scooters out in motion in the city this morning and noticed that they have a light on them. Johnny says they've always had a light on them, but I guess it's so foggy and dark this morning that I just noticed it for the first time. Tesla Roadside called me a few minutes ago. It was neat. I picked up on the car just to say that the tow truck scheduling had gone through as expected, and their ETA at the house was about 8:40 a.m. and you know, just confirming things with us, so that was good. I'm glad they followed up. I mean, I assumed the tow truck was going to show up sometime between 8:30 and 9:30 this morning, but good to know that it's definitely moving forward. As sad as it is going to be to see Sapphire up on the tow truck. We don't normally have the news on at the house in the morning. We don't normally have the TV on or the radio or anything. We're just so asleep and tired to get out the door. You know, we need to focus on what we're doing. But Dawn did turn it on this morning to catch the update on Hurricane Florence. I guess there's an update at 5 a.m. So by the time we got up and were watching at 6, they were talking about it. They'd processed that information. So it looks pretty much the same. Still coming in around Wilmington. Still a Cat 4. Still a lot of rain expected. Somewhere between 10 and 20 inches in the area. It really depends on where the bands of rain are. So that's, but you know, well, 4 inches is a lot. There's going to be a lot of rain. It had slowed down a little bit. So instead of tropical storm force winds being Thursday afternoon, very early Thursday evening, now it's more like Thursday evening, very early Friday morning. But of course that can change. So we're not going to rest on our laurels here as far as getting ready, but it could potentially give some people a little more time to plan for this monster. So we'll take it. Don and I are certainly have sort of a battle plan of things we need to get done outside. I told Johnny after school tomorrow we're gonna try to take in all the yard art. That's something he and I can do, non-heavy items, move them out of the way so they don't become projectiles during the storm, which they absolutely can become. So yeah, we'll just be working it as best as we can. Like this tow truck driver. He said, you know, just was going to check out your driveway, make sure no low-lying trees would hit the car on the way back out, very conscientious. I like this guy, but Don's gonna try to drive Sapphire up to the street, just make things easier for loading up. And you know, if that works out, that'll work out. Well, Sapphire did move, and we're not gonna have any problems loading her up here on the flatbed. It's so much easier when you can actually drive it on. This is not the same flatbed Ruby was on. I'm sure Johnny would be pointing that out. This one's a little newer truck. I'll have to get a better picture of it here in a minute because Johnny will want to know all the particulars. Actually, I've got a second here. Yeah, this cab is just a little newer. You can't judge a book by its cover, though. KW, not Peterbilt. Sapphire. Wayne was very complimentary of Model X's, says he never tows them for anything except flat tires. He's going to make sure the front bumper doesn't hit the bottom of the ramp. So he's making him a little step up there with pieces of wood. Knows what he's doing. Appreciate that. That's why we had him call East Coast. They have a big operation in Garner. Johnny and I kind of drive past there every day on 401. I've been meaning to pull in and let Johnny check out whatever they got in their yard. You know, the rest of the tow trucks. Noticing down underneath the truck here, this okay, so he lowered it just a little more there onto the ramp. Like I said, he's being really careful not to hit the nose of the car. A pretty car. You know, I 100% like that blue as much as I knew I was going to, and Don really likes it too. He said this is the first 3 he's seen with the 20-inch wheels, and he really likes them. Everybody's got an opinion about the Aero wheels. Wow. The hydraulics. Picking up his little wood ramp. I'm so sorry, Donnie. She'll be back home soon. Well, getting these cars up on the flatbed is really not too hard. Johnny'd had his druthers, he would have been here to check out the tow truck. Sorry, Johnny. Maybe some other time. Wayne seems like a nice guy. Maybe we can stop in and see him. Well, hopefully Tesla will call us later today with an update about what's going on. Hopefully they'll have time to look at her today. That would be goodness.
He says he does Model 3 delivery. He said if it's outside 150 miles or something like that, that a lot of customers choose just to have him Tesla deliver it, and he delivers it.
Wow, way cool. Well, he seemed really knowledgeable.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I told Tesla to make sure they called East Coast, because those guys know Teslas.
He's done several Model 3s, but this is the first one with the 20-inch wheels.
I heard him say that, and he said he really liked the wheels. This was his favorite wheel so far. Hey there, buddy. How are ya? You checking out your estate this morning? Hi. Hi. So Don has on the replay of the Telstar 18 Vantage loss from SpaceX that went up, I guess, around 12:30ish a.m. this morning Eastern time. What is going on? I've come out here to get in Ruby, and the mirror's still out, and the door's not opening. I am on my way to meet my friend Kelly to do some Pokemon Go trades and have coffee before I go to pick up Johnny. Don is getting ready to start doing some prep work around the house. The generator is buried behind the riding lawnmower under the house and some other things. So, you know, he's got some work to do. I went to hit the door handle and it opened up. I had to turn the camera off because I had so many things in my hand. 2 water bottles, the camera, my phone, my camera case, my purse. I had to stop filming to get in, but it let me in and it booted up, and I put in the pin and it went in drive. It didn't reboot or anything, so I don't know what's going on. I will watch to make sure the mirrors fold for sure when I park over here by Starbucks. Auto mirror fold is on and walk away door lock is on, so it's not that somehow my profile is not set up right. When I got home earlier, I did leave my purse in the garage for a few minutes while we dealt with the Model 3, thus exiting the car, but the key fob being nearby. However, the whole time I was at home, you know, after we finished loading up, I brought my purse in the house. So it's not because the fob was really still next to my car, was really still too close to Ruby. So I don't know. And not once ever has the fob reached from the house to the garage. Now, I'm not saying it's not possible, but not once ever it just doesn't happen. The car wakes up when I enter the garage door. I don't know. Well, the mirror is closed. Hopefully Ruby's safe there. It's not good parking up here at lunch on a weekday. So I'm here with Kelly and her daughter Ashley, and Kelly thought Ashley really needed to see Ruby do her dance, so I said sure. And all the people in the Taco Bell drive-thru are gonna get a show too.
Is your friend Alex working?
It's always great to see people's reactions for the first time. Hi, Fuquay. She's recording too, so she can prove she saw a car dance. out on the highway. Hi! Like people in a pickup truck. I waved at them. It looks so innocent, all closed up, you know, and then it does that. Or it speeds past you on the road and you're like, wait a minute, that's an SUV. So you like that, Ashley?
That was cool.
At the end of the light show today, all the windows on the car rolled back up on their own. I've never seen it do that before. I think that's a good thing. I'm hoping that's because in the most recent update, I think it's 2018.32.4, they made it do that. That would be good. I don't know what advantage there would be to leaving them down at the end of the show. You have to go over to the car and roll them back up. So. And also, when I got into the car sometime later after trading and drinking coffee and chatting, I had the It's Only a Dream panel up, and I couldn't put the car into drive because you remember I have pin access enabled. So if I just tapped on the MCU, then the pin screen popped up. So no big deal, but it took me an extra 10 seconds to figure out what was going on there. Just mentioning. Somewhere between 90 minutes and 2 hours ago, Tesla texted me to say they were getting ready to start working on Sapphire, and said, hey, depending on if we need parts or not, we might need to keep the car multiple days, which I already figured. First off, they've got to troubleshoot it, then they've got to figure out how to fix it, then they've got to figure out if they need to order parts to fix it or have them in-house, get the parts, then, so I totally get that it might be more than a one-day process. But I will say, I texted them back, which they asked me to do, so they said they'd give me an update later on. If I don't hear from them by 5 or 5:30, I'm probably going to call up there and ask, because I would like to have some sort of an update today. I went into the mobile app and I tried to look at Sapphire, and it says mobile access denied right now. And I think, as we all know, at least those of us that have watched a lot of Tesla videos, when it's in service, they mark, they prevent mobile access. That's so you can't honk the horn or lock or unlock it, or, play tricks on the guys, either on purpose or accidentally, while the car's in the shop. So I get that, but I'm taking that as a good sign that they have pulled the car in and are absolutely looking at it. If it was just sitting out on the lot, they wouldn't have done that. So that's good news. I really believe they're looking at it. A very pretty calm before the storm view. Always so pretty. The only time I don't enjoy this view is if it's just a solid blue sky, but when it has a smattering of clouds, I like it. So Johnny asked me this morning if I thought they were going to take that crane down. And I told him I don't know what's involved or how much advance notice they would need. I think they're meant to be free spinning and only erected where they can freely spin. Of course, we've all seen one go down anyway. I don't know. Be interesting to see this week, but I imagine that construction job site there, which has got about 10 stories to it now, that they're going to be battening down the hatches. So over here at Moore Square, they're tearing up the sidewalk here. I guess they're putting in some new drainage and getting ready to redo the sidewalk. Hey, bud.
Hey, Mom.
So how much were the kids at school talking about hurricanes today?
A lot.
One
lot. Kid said he had 2 generators ready.
Yeah. Well, that's good to have no problem having a backup if you can afford it,
In this case, a backup for a backup.
A backup for a backup. Yeah, I kind of figured that was probably causing a little bit of commotion today at the school.
It is.
And ever since Johnny's got in the car, he's wanted to know, what's the current prediction? And what are you and Mr. Don doing to prepare? And well, how are we going to handle this? And what happens if that happens? And I'm like, oh God, I've got a headache. I don't have answers for all of those questions. We're preparing. Oh, no. We thought through a bunch of stuff, but.
Oh, and one of our teachers bought a 12K watt generator. No joke.
Yeah, well, you know, if you don't have one, then what you would go out and get and what you can afford and what meets your needs, you know. We have one and it's always performed well, and Don, you know, is very good about doing maintenance on it and draining the gas out or running the gas out, whichever the case may be, when we're done using it and such. So hopefully it will perform this time just as good as it has the other times. Well, we're headed into PetSmart, but I'm just mentioning that Walmart is pretty darn busy this afternoon. I need cat litter and Walmart doesn't have what I want anyway, so we're just gonna go to PetSmart. So Don was taking things to the recycling center, filling up our propane tanks, and taking off the trash, because you don't want to have no power and trash piling up. That's not a good thing. So, you know, it's 89 degrees out here right now, and it is just stinking hot and humid. I'm grateful to have air conditioning, because, you know, after the storm comes through, we could be in not such good shape. It could be hot, really hot. It was hot after Fran, and we had no AC. We've got 2 tubs of cat litter loaded up, and Johnny is walking our cart back home. I'm gonna go pick him up. Johnny got the mail, and now he's got my flag. And he's doing what boys do when they're up with their mama. So this is one of the things Don told me he was going to do. He's down there in the creek bed making sure that all of the grass is trimmed back so the water can flow better, and just double checking to make sure there's no obstructions. Hurricane Fran dumped over 10 inches of rain here, so we're not too worried about flooding in the yard. I mean, yeah, the intermittent creek is going to be the raging rapids for sure if we get 10 inches, but it can handle it down there. So we're not too worried about flooding, but we still need to make sure that there aren't obstructions, and probably check it several times during the storm just to make sure, or right after the storm, to make sure that it's flowing okay. I've just created several blooper reels, and let's see if I can get it right this time. I am incredibly late to get Johnny. Oh, I guess that's not working either. I am incredibly late in getting Johnny to his Taekwondo class. I was putting stuff in the garage that could fly away in the storm. I was putting away yard art mostly, and thinking about what plants I might want moved, and made Donna salad, and Kitty wasn't feeling good, so I had to deal with her. And I'm just like, I'm hot and sweaty and it's miserable out there, and I'm worried about the storm, and I'm just trying to get through my evening. That's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to just get through my evening, and it's going on 5 and I haven't heard from Tesla, so I guess I'm gonna give Tesla a call, because Don already asked me if I heard something. I was like, well, they texted me and I'm pretty sure they're working on the car, but I haven't heard anything yet. So yeah, I'm gonna give them a call, because we all need to know. Okay.
Bye, Mom.
Bye. Johnny says the little kid class is just finishing, so he is not late. Phew! On a totally unrelated side note, I just saw from the Freedom Balloon Fest folks that Fleming Loop Park, which we have said is all bulldozed up right now, was a surprise to us. Apparently they're putting in soccer fields, and that is where the Freedom Balloon Fest has been the last 3 years. Also where I took Johnny to drive around the field that one time. So they said they're going to be done in the fall and they're going to lay new sod, but they don't feel comfortable holding the Balloon Fest there and having 125,000 people walk on the new sod. So they're brainstorming where they might hold it. But Don and I were really curious as to whether or not the Balloon Fest would actually be held over there again, and it's looking iffy now, I guess. Construction guys are on time, but there's just concern about not killing the sod on the brand new soccer fields. So I did talk to Tesla Raleigh service, and they did start analyzing the problem with Sapphire today. They have not reached a conclusion about what the problem is, but they have decided a direction. So they're seeing some faults that are obviously have to do with the charging and battery stuff. So they have decided that they want to go in there and take a peek. And of course, you know, we're hoping for something like there's a loose connection. You know, we drove around on it for a while and something just wasn't tight and it's just loose, and that would be really great, but we really just don't know. So speculating about what it could be is just really not productive. So hopefully tomorrow. They can't promise that it's going to be tomorrow. Obviously they had a lot of work lined up before we had our issue, but they're, you know, working us in. They'll get the chance to take a peek at what's going on. They have consulted some of the engineers because it's you know, Model 3, it's a new car, because it's a performance Model 3. They really are getting a lot of feedback from the guys that really know about the car, about what to do, what direction to take, that kind of thing. So they're working the problem, and I'm patient about it. I think Don's patient about it too. I told them the only thing that would make me not patient is the storm is, you know, causing me a little bit more stress than normal. But we got a couple of days. All day Tuesday and Wednesday here is going to be fine. And really, Thursday morning, from all looks of it, is going to be drivable and okay. So we got a little time to, you know, we got a little time to see what's going on. And I told them to either call me back when there's an update, or I'll call around 5 o'clock tomorrow and see if they had a chance to make any progress and ask for an update myself. Either will work. And I'm pleased that they started today. With all these phone calls, I've left myself just enough time to walk in and see if I can get some more canned cat food. And Walmart is still crowded. But of course it is normal stop and buy stuff on the way home now time. Today we have chainsaws. Gasoline powered chainsaws. Priorities. It was like Black Friday, war zone, just craziness in there. Whatever water they had gotten in, it's gone. And the stockers are out all over the store trying to put stuff out, which is good that they have stuff, but they can't stock the shelves because every time they go to put something on the shelves, somebody is pulling it off or asking for it. A big thank you to the kid stocking over on the cat food aisle who searched down on his pallet for me to find what I wanted and had a really good attitude about it. Big thumbs up to him. That was really appreciated. Every time I've come up to the car, since that one time this morning, she's opened the door for me, come to life, start, you know, I don't know what that was that one time this morning, but the mirrors are folding, the door's opening, it's doing everything it's supposed to do. So I really think it's because I left my purse outside but near the car for a while in the garage, and then later on just pulled the purse away. And I think that confused it. I really think that's what caused that. I sure hope they have a plan for moving all of these cones out of the way before the wind takes them, because they're not going to stand there in the wind. They're not. These construction people, they need to get to a stopping point and clean up or do something. Today, the other side of this intersection today, they were basically digging up asphalt in the middle of the road and putting some pipe or something down the center of it. Now that might have been drainage related, that's possible. But really at this point, I don't think we ought to dig anything else up, and if we can pave it so it's passable, that might be a good idea. Johnny points out that even Aldi's is packed, and I gotta tell you, between the construction and the number of extra people out trying to get supplies, it's just a huge traffic jam here in Fuquay. Well, it doesn't look like it to the left, but look in front. I am way back from the stoplight. I'm trying to take the long way home, which would be less aggravating, but so far it's not working. So on the road, you know, heading out toward our house, we have all these power lines that are above ground. Now the power lines in our neighborhood are underground, but that doesn't help us if these ones out here on this road have issues. Oh no, there's been an accident up here. Wow, that's really sad. Definitely an accident there. Yeah, a lot of glass along the road, but it's that chunky stuff. I don't think it was bad for the tires. Really, I was patient to wait while they cleaned it up, and he was making me come. So one of our viewers told us that the Tux Mat was going to send us some Velcro strips for our mat on the passenger side on the Model 3, and I think that's what this is. Yep, that's exactly what they were. They gave us more than we need. It says we probably need 3 pair, but just in case. 95 miles today and up over 32,000 miles now total. Just to say, yesterday in my video I had it backwards. The people on the right side of the storm have it worse than the people on the left side of the storm. Although when you're talking about a Cat 4 storm, how much less? Yeah, but I really apologize to weather people in accuracy for getting turned around on it and saying it backwards.